Hello, space engineers. Welcome back to another episode of Far From Home. Today, we're going to keep working on this. We're going to work on laying out the hull over here on the side of the ship. We're going to work on getting the rest of the tug's bay laid out. And we're going to grind some more of this stuff up. We're traveling along at 20 meters a second. Hopefully, someone will give me a blueprint for Zamasha soon. Let's see what happens. And I might contemplate putting some kind of welding arm on this thing to help weld up all these blocks so I don't have to build a weld pod for the tug. Yeah. Yeah, check it out. Grav gen with a big old button. Oh, gravity off. Oh, gravity on. Oh, it's amazing. Well, the minute I hook this connector up, right. So the minute I get that hooked up, I can actually use it as my dock for the tug. I can even leave this thing here for the moment if I want. And then that'll allow me to work on clearing the rest of this out a bit more. And maybe I'll put that, maybe I'll put this grind pod over here on that connector. What are we gonna do here? Well, I intended to do a whole bunch more of this here. Basically all the way down the side. So, let's lay it out. So what I have going on here with this slope is it's going to deflect rounds, but it's also part of this sort of like layering system that I'm using with armor, where I have this as an extra sort of protective layer here. I think it matches up with what I'm doing up here in the front.
Energy critical.
I wanted it to kind of mirror that a little bit, and I almost feel like I need to change the bottom a little bit in order to do that. I almost feel like I need to tear this out. So, yeah, now that I've laid out all of those blocks, I think it's time to go back and change them all to match the new pattern I just came up with. Because that's how I do space engineers. I'm efficient. One of the big reasons that I'm contemplating building welding arms, or a welding arm, to try and get all this put together is actually these hangar doors. There's 2 rows of hangar doors, and each one of these blocks takes a ton of components, so it's a big pain to weld any of that by hand. It's not like these steel blocks where you can bust out like 10 or 15 of them at least with an inventory load. Oh no, it's like more than 1 load per block. So, alright, I've been laying out a bit of the ship for a while here. A bunch of Reavers have sort of gone by. I haven't had to throw out a decoy or stop or anything. So this is the lower hangar entry. This is the entry to the engineering bay where I'm gonna work on small grid ships that I might build. And that is where they are going to exit once they are built in and out through here. We're going to try and set up an MARM OS based welding arm today and use that to weld up the rest of the hull. I have set one of these up like once before, and it wasn't super easy, but it also wasn't super hard. So hopefully I will be able to set that up without too much pain today. We will see. The first question about such a welding arm is, where would it go? It's gonna be temporary. I have a lot of welding to do right here, so this might be a good place for it, right here. Maybe I should try and set up a really simple one in here and see how that goes. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set one up right on this block, and I'm going to see if I can get it to weld the interior, all these blocks it can reach. We'll see. So, the first thing that we need is a programmable block. And I do not want to put it in here, I don't think. So I gotta do some airlock stuff in here. But I do kind of want to start putting some things in here, filling this out a little bit. I'm gonna put... So when I'm building one of these, and I haven't built many of them, the orientation of the blocks really kind of helps. So I want this to be the front, so I'm putting this at 0. Now what I normally do is weld this up and configure it, and then see if the controls work the way I intended. Oh. What are you doing? Oh, I got rid of that rocket launcher just in time. Man. That Reaver Tormentor is going after one of my decoys, so that's why I'm not freaking out about it. Okay, let's see if we can control this arm with the mouse and keyboard. And it looks like we are able to do that with this very simple arm. Okay, awesome. MRMOS is really difficult to set up properly. Every one of those joints needs to be set up in relation to the joint before it, I believe. I think that's how it works, which is one of the reasons it's hard. You also have to understand the right-hand rule, which is essentially the same as the left-hand rule. So look that up on the internet. It's really going to make things a lot easier. So I'm going to add a hinge, a piston, another rotor, and a hinge to try and finish this arm out. We'll see if I can get that done. I've had such a hard time with the darn controls today, I tell ya. I've started this recording so many times because it keeps just not being a thing. I keep looking over and I'm like, oh, it's not recording. Why? I don't have any idea. No idea. The Reaver charger's out here. I gotta get out of here. Anyways, we've been making some progress with the welding arm, despite the fact that I'm not sure I've set it up correctly. I don't want to get charged. What's happening? Pretty sure that I'm doing something wrong. It may look like by watching this sequence that I have the controls set up well, but I do not. There's a lot of guessing going on about which keys are going to move the welding arm in the direction I need it to, and it does not always go where I want it to, despite how good this looks. I think if I set it up properly, if I actually managed to do that, then all of this would be pretty easy. Because it looks close. I think this is close. But I suffered a lot to get it here. What just happened? Is this thing like... It's just not close enough. Okay. A lot of the footage that got lost is footage of this arm just banging around all over the place inside this hangar while I'm trying to just maneuver it to go left or right or whatever, because I didn't set up the kinematics correctly. I didn't orient all the joints properly. It's better now than it was, and the reason that I didn't destroy the ship is because I set all the power levels on all of the hinges, rotors, pistons. I set them all pretty low. I'm not showing you any of the setup because a lot of it was lost and a lot of it is painful, and I don't know if I explain it that I'd be doing it correctly. That is not where that thing is supposed to be. What happens if I tell it to go home? Wow, I welded up that whole row of blast doors. That's pretty awesome. A lot of this hull got welded. I don't know if this was worth it or not. And I'm fairly sure it's not set up correctly yet.
Low health.
Okay, well, I've been having a bunch of problems trying to get this arm set up properly using M-arm OS. I've done quite a bit of welding with it despite it being pretty dysfunctional. But I would like to be able to use it to get in here and get the rest of this stuff, especially these heavy blast doors, these heavy blah blah blah. Especially these hangar doors. I would especially like it to be able to weld those for me. Oh, I did those too. Wow, I didn't even realize. And I'd love to be able to get it up here to weld that. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, there is a hole here, so I mean, maybe. If not, you know, I don't know. Maybe I can make the weld pod for the tug. I'm not sure. But I'm going to give another shot at setting this up. Right now I have one... Oh my god. Well, that's that. Low body. Yep, I'm not a very good... I'm pretty hard on the clones, aren't I? Okay, so we're going to get some oxygen. Well, I thought this was going to be, like, way easier. Apparently, it is not. Go home. Alright, space engineers. This crane here, this welding crane, I used it to weld up quite a bit of the hangar here. But I have definitely not set it up properly, and it is not really working very well for me. And so for the moment, I am just gonna leave it here and set up a whole nother welding arm and use the Park script for that instead of the M-arm OS, and I'll make a simpler arm. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that will go a lot better. I mean, this is a pretty neat arm, you know. It should be able to weld up everything on the inside of here. Basically, anything in here, it should be able to weld up. As long as I can set up the controls properly. So this is kind of the outside of the hull right now over here, and I'm going to set up a welding arm to finish welding it. And I guess I should lay some more of it out while I'm at it. So I'm going to lay a bunch of it out. And then I'll come back when I am building an arm. So one of the ideas that I have here about how the ship's going to look on the side is that it's going to have this like almost shielded look to it. And I'd like there to be some ribs that stand out a little bit. We're going to chop some of this stuff off. This blue part, this extra blue part, we're going to chop that off. Probably. Probably. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting to me is the idea that I might put some kind of doors over this. If I was going to do that, the hinges for that might be like in here.
Energy low.
I think this row here, this row of blocks, is where I'm going to put hinges for a door. For this. Yeah, right here. You know, before we get rid of this arm, before we build our welding arm and do all that stuff, we're gonna grind up some of this. Alright, space engineers. We're gonna stop this rig. We're gonna grind up some more of these wrecks, some more of the salvage. Okay, let's get this wreck ground up. I mean, let's have some fun. It's fun for me, I'll tell you that. Grinders on. Here comes the victim. It's really neat to just watch all these pieces get thrown all over the place. That's why I think maybe some doors would help. Bonus is kind of heavy compared to that last piece. I couldn't get that antenna in there, so we just ground it off. So if we rotate this, will that make it easier to get it in there? I think it will. So we have our second victim ready to go into the grinder pit. I think it's going to fit. I think all the pieces will fit. So we're going to do it. Feels like it takes forever to grind this up, but in reality, it hardly takes any time at all. And I'm not transferring any inventory loads or any of that, it's just doing it. Oh, it looks like it's hung up on something. No? There. Is it? No. I mean, kind of. It's so weird. Okay, so I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah. Is it grinding now? No. What is going on? It's not fair. Why in the world doesn't it grind everything all the time? I don't know, but we are going to get on the road. We've been messing around long enough. Put you in your new parking spot. Oh yeah, I can put you in your new parking spot. That's exciting. Oh, but I don't have my handy guide as to whether I'm there or not. It's like I need a docking camera now. It is not grinding that up for some reason. Does it think it's the same ship? New ship. Let's grab all the blocks. And let's say transfer to nobody. Yes. That makes no sense. It's like it thinks it's part of the ship, so it can't grind it, because I guess it kind of was part of the ship. I don't know, maybe if I convert it to a station and then convert it back to a ship, that will help. Okay, well, we really need to get on the way. Why is the ship rotating so much? Something is wrong with all of this. Let's try a game reload and see if that helps. Are you gonna grind that up now? So I'm gonna build a welding arm, and the goal of this arm is gonna be to weld up the entire side of the ship. So we're gonna need some pistons. It goes this way. There is an awful lot not right about this. Space Engineers has been quite difficult today. Oh, it is grinding it now. So game reload did fix that problem. Nice. Oh, has it stopped grinding it again? Yeah. It stopped grinding it again. A Reaver aggressor, and a Reaver butcher just showed up. Oh man, I think I'm gonna get detected. Yeah. When they show up in front of you, it's really hard to get away. Oh man. He is trying to get closer. We are gaining ground, so we're gonna ignore him. And we're gonna see if the game reload will allow us to grind up this beast. No, the game reload didn't fix that. Okay. I mean, this thing is right in here. Why in the world it won't grind it? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Is this inertia tensor on? Power's off. Inertia tensor is off. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe when I have time to slow down, I can grab the tug and pull this thing in and out and see how it goes. So I am going to finish building this. And I am going to go set up the park script for it. And we're going to see about welding up the we're going to see about welding up all this stuff on the hull. See if we can get this all taken care of. So I'm going to set up a park script and we're going to be ready to rock and roll. But I'm going to name these things first. Alright, I have labeled all the parts. I've named all the parts. So for the park script, the next thing you do is you grab all of the pieces and parts. You put them in a park group. It needs a control seat, and I think I'm going to put the control seat here. Just because I think that's kind of silly. Okay, so let's grab all these blocks that are related to that. I'm going to say CD WA, and I'm going to say park. Oh, except before I do any of that, I need to actually put the park script on this block. I think that would be pretty helpful. So I made this block here to take the park script. So edit. We need to browse the scripts. We need to go get park. Copy to the editor. Check code. So let's say, wow. Okay, you. Yeah, you need to have ARM controller in your name. Okay, ARM controller. This block, we just need to recompile it. Yeah, this guy. Recompile. Okay, so this is not an acceptable name. Yeah, there's can only be one of these. I mean, this can only have this name apparently. Can only be that. Recompile. Run. Recompile. Yes. The ARM controller. So it's being nice and it's telling me, yeah, you got this guy controlling thrusters, which is the new ARM controller. This. Front back A. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay. Forward. Now I got 5 of these. And each one, I want the total to move at about a half a meter a second. So we're going to say 0.1. 0.1. I'm going to do that for the other. So this is meters per second because it's a piston. So we're basically telling the script by entering these values which what directional keys the piston is going to respond to. That's effectively what we're doing. We're just saying this is the directional key that it will respond to, and this is the amount that it will respond to it by. So this script is pretty easy to set up, and if you want to do something really complicated with like little grabber hands, that kind of thing, then you need to set up extra profiles for the park script. This is the main profile. I can't remember if like this value needs to be negative. I don't know. And that's the script. Like, it's set up now. Now, I don't think, I gotta recompile it. I don't think that I set it up correctly. I have the suspicion that I need to put some negative values in there. Looks good, okay. Oh, the Reaver's gone. Okay, let's slow down to a reasonable speed. Actually, we're gonna stop. It's gonna take forever, but we're gonna stop because we're gonna try and do something about the grinding pit shenanigans. Let's turn off the hydros. Now it's gonna just take a long time to stop. So if I get in this, that should be all I need to do to try it. S left and right both do the same thing. Okay, so that answers that. So left will be negative. 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 Maybe I'll up the speed. Alright, so we gotta see if we can do something about getting this in here. I mean, that's like pressed up on it. Okay. I locked it now. But it was something about me getting in the seat that did that. Something about me getting in the seat caused that to be a problem. Boy, is it grinding it now. Yeah, something about me getting in the seat causes it to be considered part of the same grid or something, which then makes it uneligible for grinding. I don't know what the deal is. I have other subgrid problems in my other games where I don't know. I think Space Engineers has got a little buggy right now about subgrids or different grids and a variety of different rules in the game. Um, so like if you jam a subgrid drill head into some voxels, it may be stuck there forever. We're just jamming it right in there. Man. The only reason I can do this, just have them all on and I'll just trying to jam that thing in there. The only reason I can do that is because I turn the power way down on all the pistons. So they don't put out enough force to really mess stuff up anymore. Well, stuff got flung off into the void. Alright, well, let's get the heck out of here. I don't want to get harassed by that darn Space Pirate Raider. The problem with this, the only problem is just that I didn't recompile it. Recompile. Oh yeah, that's working out. So I gotta reverse those. So right should be positive and left should be negative. Right is positive, left is negative. Right is positive, left is negative. Okay. So whenever you change the park scripts, like any of the configuration at all, you have to go recompile it. Okay, so let's turn on the welder. Okay, it's on. But I can't go back anymore. Well, that's pretty, that's silly. Well, that's fun. This is actually really cool. I should have made it capable of getting all of it. I was thinking, oh, I'll just move the arm around or whatever if I need to so I could get more of it. But I should have built it so that I could just get it all right from the beginning. Oh, I was sure this would be long enough to get all the way down here and get all of it, but it's not. It's not long enough. This arm is inadequate in a variety of ways. What is the arm on the inside doing? Oh, it's responding. So if we just go, so I can't go down anymore, so let's go forward. Oh yeah, I gotta change all the, I gotta change all those pistons to be less powerful. Let's do it. getting those doors, which is well worth building the crane, I guess, just to do the doors. And also, this is a friggin' whole lot of fun. Guess I better go deal with that.
Health low.
Wow, I got weldered by my welder because I have my gravity on, which I kind of wish I didn't have now. Since I got weldered. Oh man. Oh, I guess he's done. We got stuff to do. It's so strange that that space pirate private sale is right behind me like that. That is just so weird. This is freaking awesome. I'm really digging this. So this welding arm, the Park welding arm, was easier to set the script up, but I can't weld enough. I can't weld enough of it. It looks like he's coming here. That thing's still alive, causing havoc. How? How are you still here? I've had enough right now. I mean, this is a major success today, really. Got some stuff ground up. Got some ship built. Got a welding crane that I'm working on. Obviously, I gotta fix that. Hello, space engineers. Welcome to the outro. This is where we go over the statistics for this episode. So, we had some changes here this episode. There were 5 Space Pirate Raider drones that we salvaged, 1 Reaver Slayer, and 2 Reaver Berserkers, bringing our totals to what you can see here. We made some progress on our journey home. We traveled 447 kilometers this episode. We've gone a total of 3,619 kilometers. And we have 22,135 more kilometers left to go. We are not really improving our ammo situation. We shot some more railgun sabots, about 100. We only have 802 left. And by the way, every one of those sabots equates to the amount of energy required to charge the railgun once. I don't know how much energy that is, but it would be interesting to know how much I have spent shooting railgun sabots. Gatling boxes are down to 113, which is not good. It was 157 at the beginning of the episode, so it would be best if we could do something about that soon. Anyways, I hope that this episode found you well. I hope that you have enjoyed the content. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. And I'd love to see you again next time. Bye-bye.